Hi there, this is Dave Toomey from CommissionClassroom.com, and this is a short instructional video about understanding hosting for niche sites. Now, you may know some of this already, but it's really important to understand, what kind of hosting plan you're using for niche sites for a number of reasons. One of them being speed, so that when your site's loading, that the person visiting your site can get there quickly and your site can load. And we're going to show you a couple of things now that you may not have considered when choosing hosting for your niche sites. There's two real main types of hosting that you can use with your niche sites. What we call shared hosting, where you and many other marketers share a server. So your sites all go onto one server, but you also share the properties of that server. And then there's VPS, which is a bit more like having your own house instead of all being in a condo apartment block. So you don't share services, you share a part of that server. And to make the analogy easy to understand, I just want to go through this whole sort of housing thing. Well, imagine that your niche sites are on a shared server, shared hosting. Well, that's your website or your group of websites. Well, when visitors come in to the server looking for your site, they come on the front door. Well, let's say this guy here, he's got loads of websites and gets a lot of traffic. Well, all his visitors are starting to come in the front door as well. So when your visitor comes along and all of this is blocked up, it's very difficult for them to get in the door, up the stairs and along into your website, because this guy here is blocking the entrance and all his visitors are in the way. Whereas if we go to a VPS, if somebody's coming to visit this guy, all his resources are centered in his area, and if somebody wants to come to your website, they're not being interfered with by his traffic. So all the resources that you're using on your section of the VPS is separate to here. So that's the main difference between shared hosting and VPS. The problem is, not all shared hosting is equal. In some cases, there might be thousands and thousands or hundreds of sites all on one shared hosting account. So we've got thousands. Whereas on this one, there might be only hundreds of domains and accounts. So again, the difference between the two on the same type of hosting can have an effect on your traffic and hosting your websites. Now, we recommend Bluehost for a particular reason, and I'm just going to switch over and show you. This is a service called Reverse IP Domain Check. So what you can do is you can put a domain in. This is one of our test domains. I'm not going to show you the URL or a lot of these URL because we don't want to show our niches. But this is Bluehost, and as you can see from here, there are 257 domains hosted on this server. And we scroll down, you can see there's domains that have the standard URL and then domains that have the www. And if we scroll right down, you'll get to the sort of the Y's and the Z's and the X's, because that's at the bottom. Now, this is a second site that I know is on a HostGator site. There's a WordPress blog, same as everything else. And this service will only tell us that it's found over 100 domains. And in fact, this red box here is saying that there's some dodgy domains on this server. Now, if we scroll down, one of the things to note, this only shows us the first 1,000 sites on this server. So if we keep going right to the bottom, you see we've only reached the P's. So you've got Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and then all the ones that start with www. So in essence, there could be more than 2,000 sites, 3,000 sites hosted on this one server, which is madness. So if we go back to our analogy of not all shared hosting is equal, we've got Bluehost here, which we know has 257. and we've got HostGator here, which we conservatively estimate has 3,000 sites on the server. So if you're wanting to send traffic to come in the front door of your server and get to your site, which one of these two are you going to choose? And that's why we recommend Bluehost, because we know for a fact, looking at our accounts, that the Bluehost servers host less sites on a shared hosting account than HostGator do. Hopefully that's been instructional. Hopefully you understand a bit more the difference between shared hosting and VPS. But and most niche marketers, you don't need VPS, but that's the next step up from having a shared hosting account. But if you are going to start off building niche sites, or you only have, you know, up to 20 niche sites, you're going to go for shared hosting as opposed to a VPS. You know, it's a no-brainer cost-wise. And if you do, definitely go to Bluehost over HostGator. Now, in everything else being equal, like customer support and cost, etc., Bluehost stacks up against HostGator and a lot of the other services. And whatever you do, don't ever use GoDaddy for your hosting. It's a horrible service. But in terms of cPanel, in terms of niche sites, that's why we recommend Bluehost. Hope you found that useful. Thanks very much.